What's up, YouTube? It's Elijah the Hero, and today I kind of got an out of the blue video for you guys. Over the weekend, I was hanging out with my friends, drinking, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? It's the weekend, gotta get lit. But in the middle of getting lit, we were talking about video games, and video games we would like to see make a comeback. I don't remember how the conversation started because I was drunk, but I guess it was a good enough conversation to stick with me. So yeah, one of my friends inspired this video. We're going to be talking about 10 games that I would like to see make a comeback. So I'm really sticking with games that we don't know are going to ever come back or ever get a sequel or a third game or a fourth game even. But games that I would just like to see come back if the game has already announced a sequel is coming out or another game is coming out in the franchise. It's off the list, so don't expect any Bully because we already know Bully 2 is in development, so there's no point. Don't expect Prince of Persia because we know they're making a new Prince of Persia game after they make that remastered. So yeah, those type of games won't be on there. This is only games with no announced sequel, no announced continuation in the franchise, no spin-offs, except for one of the games. One of the games has other games that are out, but just not for this series of games. So I did pull little strings on that one, but I think you guys will understand once I talk about it. But yeah, it's not really going to be anything crazy with editing. I'm just going to play the gameplay, show you guys what I'm talking about. So yeah, so last time you'll see my face on this video. But yeah, so don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright, so starting out at number 10, we have Jump Ultimate Stars. Now, I guess a little precursor to this game before I actually start talking about it is this game never came out in the West. They never localized the game, but it is a DS game, and most of the games I have on here are console games. But for this one, I actually do want it to come back as a console game, and it got me thinking. For anime games, they like to make their little Jump series games like Jump Forces and J-Stars kind of yearly now, from an interview that they were talking about for Jump Force, saying that they wanted to make those type of games yearly, those crossover games. Well, I think this would be perfect with everybody trying to make a Smash kind of clone with Multiverses and the Nickelodeon Smash clone game. They're trying to compete with Smash Bros. And I think this would be a perfect way to introduce anime into the Smash community and get in there. I think they should just copy and paste this game, update the graphics, and throw it out there, because this game comes with a lot of franchise. You got Bleach, Gintama, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, One Piece, basically almost any game any shonen franchise you could think of. They even got D. Grayman in here, if you know what that is. Fist of the North Star, Yu Yu Hakusho. So they basically have all your favorite anime characters, and I just think a Smash type fighter for anime games would be cool. People are tired of arena fighters. Jump Force, Demon Slayer, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. There's a new one coming out, but people are tired of arena fighters. That game's Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 5 is going to sell well, but people are tired of arena fighters, and I think this would be a kind of perfect blend of that arena fighter aesthetic and then kind of party brawler. So I think this would be a perfect game to put out. Yeah, I never played this game, but when I was a kid, I would go on YouTube and watch people play this game so much and just kind of wished it came out. I guess you can always play Mugen, if you guys know what that is, and that kind of is this game basically. But I think it would localized, and they made a one that came out for the West. They added characters periodically. It's I think it would be cool if they did it as a character pack instead of one DLC character every couple months. I think it was cool if it would be a character pack, you get what's it good, villains, a villain pack, and you get different villains from different series in one pack, or you get a Naruto pack where it has Hinata, or third tier characters, not the important characters that are already in the roster, but third tier characters. But yeah, I think Jump Ultimate Superstars would be a great game for a comeback. That is sitting at the 10 spot. Next, for number 9, we got another anime game. I do apologize, but yeah, I love anime, so yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. And boy, let me tell you about one of the best anime games of all time. And when I say all time, I mean all time. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, bro. God, me and my friends, bro, this would make or break friendships. You know, they always say games make or break friendships. Nah, this game make and broke friendships. And when me and my friends were playing this, bro, I got even my stepbrothers. Everybody I've known has basically played this game, and everybody understands at the same time this is the best anime game. Not the only best Dragon Ball game, but the best anime game to come out. I don't think any Dragon Ball game has like reached the level of like people playing like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 did. Everybody had this game in your house. If you were black, you had this game in your house. You probably didn't even play it that often, but you had it in your house. I think with Dragon Ball FighterZ, you know, it has its market, but it seems like the game has fallen off quite a bit. But we're not here to talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ. We're talking about Tenkaichi 3. But yeah, I think Tenkaichi 3 either needs one, a remastered, which I doubt will ever happen, but a remastered, or a basically a port. I think a port of this game would be pretty cool. With like updated graphics and stuff like that, HD. I do know they did do like a HD remaster for like some of the Budokai games on PS3, but I don't remember which ones they were. But yeah, anyway, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 definitely needs to, or 4, they need to make a 4. It needs to come back, keep the same mechanics, you know, update the graphics, or make a remaster, like keep the game at its base and just update the graphics. Had that thing at 60 frames per second, and you know, just keep it looking good, keep the same combat, keep the, like, you know, like the special meters. When you hit the special, you gotta kind of match the buttons, and if somebody hits the buttons before you, know you can dodge. It's just a great game, and I need it to come back. I need it to come back. But yeah, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is definitely sitting at number 9, and this is kind of where the anime games end. So yeah, there's no other anime games on my list. I already got those out the way. But yeah, if I had to pick one anime game to get remastered out of everything, it would be Tenkaichi 3. I would even put that over like the Broken Bond series and Rise of Ninja for Naruto. But yeah, I just love this game so much. All right, now moving on to 8. All right, so we have number 8. 8 is going to be Asura's Wrath. Now, if you ain't never played this game, you sleep, bro. You sleep. I played the demo more than I actually played the game when it came out. I didn't get this game until like maybe like 2 or 3 years after it was out. I would play the demo all the time and ask my grandmother if she could buy it for me, and she would keep saying no. And like when Christmas came around or like my birthday came around, I just kept forgetting to ask for it. And then I remember it was like in a bargain bin. Got it for like $5 at like Best Buy, and it was one of the best games I ever played. The DLC, fire. One of Capcom's best games. I don't know why Capcom does not capitalize on all the good games they have. Like, why did they not put out a second Asura's Wrath? I know this game is developed by CyberConnect 2. CyberConnect 2 are the people who did the new Demon Slayer game. They do Storm, and they did the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So you already know them boss fights and the QTEs are going to be phenomenal, which they were. It was like kind of watching a movie when you played Asura's Wrath, but still, it was still fire. Still fire. But yeah, Asura's Wrath, I think, if anything, the game is good. Like, graphically, it still holds up if you're watching. I know YouTube compresses, but graphically, it still looks really great. I think it just needs a PC port, to be honest, because this game is not on PC, and I think the only way you can play it is on X, like if you have like your old Xbox 360 or PS3. So for an Xbox and PS3 game, this game looks phenomenal. There are emulators out there, but I'm not going to get into emulation. But yeah, this game needs a PC port, at least a PC port if we never get a sequel. But it would be nice to get a sequel. The only thing I didn't like about Asura's Wrath is how the true ending was hidden behind paid DLC, which is crazy to me. But yeah, Asura's Wrath is a great game, and if you have not played it, I don't know where you're going to play it at, but if you've never played it, get a PS3 and just go get the game, because it's that good. So yeah, it's a great game, phenomenal game. I don't know what's wrong with Capcom. I don't know why they don't put their good games out, but hey, I'm not in Capcom, so yeah, Asura's Wrath, number 8. This game is called Enslaved Odyssey to the West. This was another game that I played the demo a lot because I couldn't get the game. I did eventually get the game and I did play it, beat it. Yeah, Odyssey to the West. I'm pretty sure you heard that name and kind of know what it is. It's about, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Son Goku. But yeah, this game was a pretty good game. Unfortunately, I don't see us ever getting a sequel to this game because this game was a commercial failure. It did not sell that well. It didn't sell well at all, actually. But yeah, it's a really good game. Got my boy Andy Serkis in it, voice acting and doing the mocap for it. If you don't know who Andy Serkis is, he played Claw in why can I think Black Panther. Also, he played Caesar in Planet of the Apes. So keeping with that monkey theme, I guess. So, but yeah, this was a really good game. The story kind of reminds me of Last of Us, to be honest. With you protecting a female protagonist and getting closer to her, being kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a ruthless kind of guy, and the journey softens the main character. I don't remember his name for some reason, but yeah, it's a really good game. It's about apocalypse and machines and mechs, destroying civilization, and Sun Wukong has to stop it, and that's basically it. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away because this is a game that not a lot of people played. So yeah, it was a really good game, fun game. I think it deserves either, a port, or it might actually be port. I didn't check that, but I do think it deserves a sequel. Unfortunately, I don't think we ever will get a sequel, but yeah, great game. W game. All right, in the number 6 spot, we got Max Payne. He don't need no introduction. Everybody know who Max Payne is. Or at least I hope you know who Max Payne is. The last Max Payne game we got was Max Payne 3 from Rockstar. The slow motion, gun fighting, gun toting, depressed man, Max Payne. Yeah, Max Payne 3 was really good. I actually just replayed Max Payne 3 on the PC, and it's as good as I remember playing it on like Xbox 360. I believe it came out on originally. Yeah, great graphics. It looks kind of like the beginning to the cannot think GTA 5 engine. I think it's running on that because it kind of looks like GTA 5 when it came out originally. But yeah, Max Payne 4, or I don't know if we need a Max Payne 4, to be honest. I just think we need like something in the Max Payne universe with the Max Payne mechanics, to be honest with you. I do like the slow-mo fighting and the slow-mo gun shooting. I like the story. Yeah, I think the Max Payne universe isn't finished. I don't think you have to bring Max Payne as the character back, but he sells the game. He's a household name for gaming at this point. It's kind of like having a Mario game without Mario in it. I mean, they have Mario games without Mario, but like it would be weird. It would be weird to have like Super Mario Sunshine, but it'd be Luigi Sunshine or like Peach's Sunshine or something like that. I don't know what I'm going for, but I hope I explained that well enough. But yeah, I think we could get a new character, or like it could become like Max Payne, like future son or something like that. I don't know. He hasn't got no kids. His wife died. But yeah, Max Payne, I think it's a game that needs to come back. I think Max Payne as a game doesn't really need to come back, or as a character. I just think Max Payne's mechanics are really cool with the slow-mo fighting and the slow-mo shooting. I think that aspect of gaming needs to come back. We need more third-person shooters and single-player ones too. Single-player games do sell. No matter what you believe, single-player games do still sell. So yeah, I think a Max Payne style of game would be pretty cool to come back into gaming. All right, we in the top 5 now. Top 5, and sitting at the 5th spot, Splinter Cell. That boy Sam Fisher. This is gonna be a little bit of a rant. I'm not even gonna lie. What Ubisoft is doing with Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher, to be exact, is a goddamn shame. Why do they keep putting this man as cameos in the Ghost Recon games and not giving him his own game? And then they came out with that like that little mobile, or they announced that like mobile or whatever game that he's gonna be in, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Splinter Cell is probably like Ubisoft's last saving grace because they've been on the short end of, you know, fans. I feel like personally they're changing out Splinter Cell with Ghost Recon because Ghost Recon has a lot of the same mechanics as Splinter Cell, but it's more, you know, open world based and not linear. Now, I know I said I wasn't gonna have any games that have a, you know, a sequel kind of announced or a new game announced, and they did announce that a new Splinter Cell game is coming out, but I don't fucking believe it. I don't believe it. I'm not gonna believe it until I actually see it. So, yeah, in my eyes, there ain't no new Splinter Cell game coming out until I actually physically see a trailer for it. And it's been years. I think Blacklist is the last Splinter Cell game we got, and that came out on Xbox 360, so that's not that long ago. But like, Splinter Cell is such a great franchise, and I feel like it's basically being killed off for Ghost Recon. And Ghost Recon, you know, it sells okay, but as a game overall, Ghost Recon is not better than Splinter Cell, and we definitely need a new Splinter Cell game. And I don't know what they would even kind of do with a new Splinter Cell, because they aged up Sam Fisher a lot in the Ghost Recon. I feel like it has to be in between that kind of, you know, time frame between I don't even know if it's canon, to be honest with you, his appearance in Ghost Recon. I don't know what they're doing with the character, but yeah, I just think a new Splinter Cell game is needed at this point for somebody who likes the stealth genre of games. Yeah, we need a new Splinter Cell game, Ubisoft, and I think y'all need to get on it, because it just seems like Ubisoft does not listen to the fans. We've been asking for an Assassin's Creed that takes place in Japan for years. And if you guys do want to play an Assassin's Creed that takes place in Japan, play Ghost of Tsushima, because that's basically what it is. It's Assassin's Creed, but better. Yeah, Ubisoft does not like listening to their fans, basically, because I don't know who the fuck was asking for Breakpoint. I liked Wildlands, but I don't know who the fuck was asking for Breakpoint. And I don't know who the fuck was asking for those little ass Ubisoft mobile games, and I don't know who the fuck was asking for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the first Assassin's Creed game that I quit playing. I'm sorry. Ubisoft just has like some of my favorite game franchise. I can't even talk because I'm so fucking mad. Ubisoft has some of my favorite game franchises in a fucking headlock, and they just ain't doing nothing with them, and it's so fucking frustrating. But hey, them are the breaks. But yeah, Splinter Cell is in the 5th place. We just need a new Splinter Cell game, a new something. Sam Fisher just need to come back. He need to get out of retirement and just come back. The video games need him right now. But yeah, Splinter Cell. All right, after Splinter Cell, we got my boy Delson Rowe. Infamous is the next game that is on our 4th spot. I love Infamous. My name is Elijah the Hero. I love anything with superheroes or superpowers or super based people. So yeah, Infamous is one of my favorite game franchises. I wouldn't say of all time, but it's one of my favorites. I like the first one, I like the second one, I like the Blood Hunt one, and I like Second Son. Second Son was the first game I got from my PS4, so I was playing the hell out of that, because when I got my PS4, my grandma only got me 2 games. So she got me Battlefield 4 and Infamous. So those were the 2 games I was playing the hell out of. So this is actually the first game I ever platinumed too, which is pretty crazy now to think about it. But yeah, Infamous Second Son was the first game I ever platinumed on my PlayStation 2. So yeah, I really like Infamous. I don't really know why they stopped making the Infamous franchise, to be honest with you. I do know Sucker Punch makes Ghost of Tsushima, and I have a Ghost of Tsushima video coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite games of all time. I put it in the top 3 games that I've ever played of my favorite games. Ghost of Tsushima is a tremendous, wonderful piece of art. It is a masterpiece, a perfect game. And I don't say that about games a lot, but Ghost of Tsushima is a perfect game for me, at least. But yeah, I don't know if they needed to have the whole team work on Ghost of Tsushima, because that would be my idea, because the game is so fucking deep and so many mechanics and the world building and the island of Tsushima. Probably needed a whole team, so they couldn't spread thin with doing another Infamous game. I don't know if we'll ever get another Infamous game, which would be pretty crazy because I know all the Infamous games sell well. So I don't know why we actually never got another Infamous game. The last thing we got was that First Light DLC. So yeah, I think it's time for a new one. Now, if you asked me to trade out Ghost of Tsushima for Infamous, I would say fuck no, put another Ghost of Tsushima out. But yeah, this is a strange one because I'm actually thinking about like the reasoning, and the only reason I could think of why we didn't get another Infamous is because of Ghost of Tsushima. So, dang, that's crazy. It's like trading one of my favorite game franchises for another. After Infamous in the number 3 spot, so we in the top 3. The video is almost over. We got Sly Cooper. I'm a huge platforming fan. I basically grew up on platformers. Those are my first type of games I ever played. When I was growing up, I was a strictly Nintendo kid. My mom did not let me play mature games, so all I got to play was, basically platformers. So those are my bread and butter. And in a world where so much bad stuff goes on and every video game has to be dystopian and deep thought and deep thinking, I think we need more platformers personally, because I kind of just want to boot up a game with nice graphics, funny cartoon characters, and a game that doesn't take itself so seriously. And that is Sly Cooper. Does not take itself that seriously, and I love that. And I think it's relaxing. These type of games are relaxing. You play video games to escape the real world and not think about depressing things, and to be happy, to entertain yourself. Now, games like, Cyberpunk aren't entertaining, but at the end of the day, they are depressing too. So it is nice to play these type of games where you don't have to think that deep about it. It's just telling you why you're getting to A to B to C. So I love these type of games, and I think the world as a whole is in desperate need for a funny, cartoony platformer. The last one that we really got, like platformer wise, was Yooka-Laylee, and that game sucks. So yeah, I did not like that game. But now, Sly Cooper the last game left off on a cliffhanger, and we never got an answer to it for Thieves in Time. So I think it's time to get us a new one. The only problem is I know these type of games don't sell well anymore. A lot of people don't like playing games like this anymore, so that's kind of disheartening. But I feel like if as fans, if we talk about it enough, it will come back. Sly Cooper is a really good gaming franchise. It's a fun gaming franchise, and it's close to the game that we're going to be talking about next. So by that, you probably guessed what it was if you play games. But yeah, Sly Cooper is my number 3 game for games I want to come back. The next game is kind of, I would say, like it's a video game cousin, because it's kind of the same gameplay. So the next game that we have is Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter, one of my all-time favorite games. And yeah, honestly, I've never played the last Jak and Daxter game, which was that PSP game. I never played it because I broke my PSP at the time it came out. So yeah, never got to play that one. But I did buy the Jak and Daxter like HD collection with all 3 games. I beat that game. When I was younger, I never beat Jak 2, but I finally got to beat it. I did beat Jak 3 when I was a kid. I've never played Jak 1, so that was nice to replay. I did get that for my PS3 like towards the end of its life cycle, and played it on PS4. But yeah, great game. Love the game. I even love if they do come out with anything Jak related, I wouldn't even mind a remaster, to be honest with you. But Naughty Dog is so wrapped up in The Last of Us that I don't think we'll ever get another Jak and Daxter game, to be honest with you. But I love this game. I just freaking love it. This is like platformer. It was like my first mature platformer game. I felt like this was badass and cool to play. Jak is a badass character, and In retrospective, if I probably played this game over again today, it probably wouldn't be that good. I think it's like nostalgia. Like, you know, like recently I played Sonic Adventure Battle 2 and it wasn't as good as I remember it being. That was one of my favorite games of all time at the time. But I kind of want to replay this game again and see how it was, because I know that like whole like non-lock on, like you couldn't lock on when you're shooting people. You just kind of had to, like, they just had to be in front of you. So that was pretty annoying. You just have to do like the jump, spin, and shoot at the same time. But yeah, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, Jak, I think, needs a new game, or at least a remake. Not a remastered, a remake. I would not mind if they fixed this game from top to bottom, but kept the story, kept some of the mechanics the same, and literally just repackaged all three games into like one game or one story. I think that would be pretty cool. They can keep Jak X though. I didn't like Jak. I did play Jak X. I did not like Jak X. I didn't understand taking the whole racer route, to be honest. I know there was racing levels in Jak 3, and then you had like this hoverboard track levels in Jak 2 too. So yeah, keep that shit. But the platforming and shooting and storytelling, yeah, put that in the new Jak. If they do make a Jak 4, put that in there. I would take a Jak 4 or a remake, not a remastered. I don't want a remaster to the game. I want a whole remake from the ground up. So, like, kind of like the Ratchet and Clank remake we got. I think Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter deserve those, because those were like cousins of like video games at the time. So I think all three of them deserve like a whole, well, like I said, Ratchet and Clank already got one. So Jak and Daxter and Sly and Cooper definitely deserve the remake kind of honor, in my opinion. But yeah, that was my number 2, and we're at number 1. And you probably guessed it based off the thumbnail, but number 1 is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Now, I know I said a lot of these games are in my favorite games of all time, or were at one point, but Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is my third favorite game of all time. It goes right behind Ghost of Tsushima and Insomniac's Spider-Man. This game, I was looking forward to this game so much when it got announced. I was a Metal Gear fan, but I remember when Metal Gear 4 came out, and that scene where Raiden was fighting that vampire guy, I forgot his name, in Metal Gear Solid 4, and it was going on for like 5 minutes. I was like, this is one of the coolest characters I've ever seen in my life. Why does he not have his own game? And this is Metal Gear Solid 4 was my first introduction to the Metal Gear franchise. I've heard of the other Metal Gears, but I've never got to play them. And I watched my stepdad actually play Metal Gear Solid 4 from beginning to end when I was a kid. And I was thinking, why does this guy not have his own game? And, you know, I figured out that he does have his own game. Metal Gear Solid 2, I guess. But when I said he had his own game, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is what I meant by having his own game. And it finally came out. I remember, I think it was like 2012 when this game, I think it was 2012 when this game came out, or 2011, I don't know. But I remember I got it for that birthday. I do remember the day it came out. It was February 16th. And I got it early for my birthday. And I beat the game in like 6 hours. My mom was pissed. But yeah, I beat the game in like 6 hours. That's how much I love this game. And like, I 100 the game and everything. But yeah, this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I even go back and still play it from time to time. But will we ever get a sequel? Probably fucking not, to be honest with you, which is so crazy, because it's such a good game, and there's such a big like fan cry for a sequel to Rising: Revengeance. But we'll never get one, because you guys already know what happened with the kind of Kojima and Konami thing. You know, they had a falling out. Konami does own the rights to Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, but they're not the ones who developed the game. It was actually, dang, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Platinum Games. Platinum Games are the ones who developed this game, and, you know, they would basically have to ask them to develop the game again, because we see what Konami's doing with the Metal Gear franchise. They're fucking putting out zombie survival games that nobody asked for. But, yeah, Rising: Revengeance, man. I don't think we'll ever get a sequel, but you can only dream, and that's what this video is about. Dreaming of the games sequels that we'll probably never get, or the game comebacks that we're probably never gonna get. I feel like some of these could happen on this list, and then like some of them won't happen, to be honest. Like the only game I feel like that could possibly come back is Infamous, Sly Cooper, and Splinter Cell, to be honest with you. The other games, I don't see them either ever coming back or getting it remastered, which sucks. Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes with these licensing and, you know, companies. Unfortunately, they don't like listening to the fans, even though we're the ones that, you know, support the industry and support the games. You know, if you kind of listen to the fans and, you know, put out the games that they want, you would make money. This is a game people want. People want Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So yeah, this is my number one. Let me know what your guys' list is. Is there any games that you're like, nah, I don't need that to come back? Or is there any games that you want to come back? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I've been Elijah the Hero, and peace. Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Push the notification bell to be notified for new videos. And remember, have a great day.